So I have another old Ford ECU here. And this one, the customer said that they replaced the caps, but it still didn't work. And they think it had damaged traces. And maybe that's why. So they didn't really know how to clean that up. So they sent it to me to take a look at. And I guess we can go ahead and hop right in because screws are already off. All right. So it doesn't look too bad. Soldering, probably not the best. Let me pull up the microscope here. Maybe we can take a little bit better look. All right, so this is the top capacitor here. And yeah, if we look here, we can see that this trace, let me try to get this thing in focus for you guys, maybe. Okay, so we can see that this top trace right here is not connecting. It's also burnt open right here. The capacitor, while it's, the soldering doesn't look the best, it would probably actually work. But I'm going to remove this, clean all that up. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. So again, soldering doesn't look the best, but it would work. But we do have a open trace right here. And let's check this one. Yeah. Don't really see nothing open here. This one wasn't too bad. We are. Is that solder? It looks like there was a big glob of solder and they cut it maybe. I see here. All right, so let me get these capacitors off. I'm going to use my own. And let's see, what is it's 10, 47, and 47 that we need. Sometimes I tend to forget. I was hoping I could just yank this out. There it comes. Let's take that big solder ball out of there. All right, so this one is a little bit damaged, but the main connection that we need is on this side. So I'm going to scrape this away, and we will get it soldered good there. Now this one, this side, I don't think it has a connection. It just connects on the other side. So we'll have to check that out when we flip it over. But that's okay. These are just two-sided boards, so it's pretty simple. Pretty simple to take care of small issues like that. Clean it up a little bit. Let's see if we can't get this one out. Okay. And again, the through hole is kind of wonky there. See, all of this area is kind of in bad shape. So I don't really fix the through holes. I mean, I guess you could. I tell you, there's another YouTuber, a guy named Mend It Mark. Really, really good at doing his job. I tell you, I saw him one time do a through hole with little rivets, and it looked like it worked perfect. I might have to try to experiment with that one day. I think just finding the right size would be the main the main thing. I might have to go back and look for that video, see if he mentions the size. Tell you, I don't watch too many other YouTubers these days. I don't typically have the time, but tell you, I enjoy his videos still. He does really good work. So if you haven't seen him before, I definitely recommend you check him out. And so I'm just going to try to scrape away some of the mangled up copper here. But like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm more of a function guy and not so much of a has to be perfect type. Alright, now let's yank this one out as well. The final one. I see this one had the through holes ripped out as well. So I think the customer was maybe a little heavy-handed when he was pulling them out, because usually even when the capacitors leak, it's not typically the whole through hole yanked out like that. But again, on this type of board, it's not a big deal. The main thing that we're going to be, missing is just support for the capacitor. So might have to try to do something about that. I think right now, though, I just want to get this fixed up. It's getting pretty late where I'm at, and it's towards the end of my day, so I really want to get into bed here. So I think I'm just going to clean this up, get these capacitors in, and then call it a night. And then I will do the testing tomorrow, and then if everything tests good, I'll probably put some of my adhesive, my silicone adhesive stuff down to kind of help support the capacitors. Alright, so just like what we thought, just this trace, that trace, and this one at the top, and then mess of through holes. Let's check the back, make sure the back's not too busted up. Typically the back doesn't really see too many problems. Well, it's kind of mangled up back here too. So we gotta make sure all of it gets, reconnected when we put it in. So I'll put that there, come back through with the legs of the new capacitors, and that will be enough to kind of take care of that there. I swear it looks like the capacitors just got yanked out. So I really don't want to mess with this stuff too much because I don't want to make it worse, but this one's all folded, and I have to do something better there. I think this one is okay, and that one will be fine. And then we have the one down here. Sorry. Didn't realize I won't in focus there for you guys. I hope it's not been like that the whole time. Don't know what's going on here. Another mess. I guess that this went here to this capacitor. Well, I mean, that's the only place it could have went. And this one's all scuffed up too. A little bit more work than normal, but that's okay. We'll get it. Don't like how little there is here. Where does this one go? Comes to here. Alright, we're gonna make it work. I want to get a little bit more of this trace where I can solder a wire to it. Because when the traces are really small like that, the wire will just yank it up. Okay, I'll leave that there, even though that's, no. I was gonna say it's pretty worthless because I can tell it was barely hanging on. So I kind of figured it was gonna come off. I was hoping I could use it a little bit though. Alright, so let me find the capacitor. I will be right back. Well, I couldn't find my normal 47 size, so I'm gonna use these little short stubby ones instead. Same thing. Actually, I think they got a higher voltage rating even. Yeah, these are 100, but they're a little bit fatter looking, so they look different. Now we have to remember which pin was ground, and I'm pretty sure I remember, but let's just double check. So we're gonna find something that we know is a ground, and we're gonna check, just check around the board, and I want to make sure that these 2 points are ground, and then I know that the capacitors are going this way, and I remember just off my head that this one goes the same way. Kind of hard to make sure since there's no pad there, but that's okay. I gotta fix this trace first before I put this big capacitor in there because I won't have room if I don't fix it first. Now, for small little traces like this, I use this little, I think it was 30 ohm. It's pretty small wire here, solid core wire. I don't use stranded or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tin these little traces first. And you don't really have to run the wire. I don't need to tin that one, but I will, since I got too much solder here. I was going to say, you don't really have to follow the same path that the original trace went, but sometimes it helps to just to, kind of keep everything normal looking. So I am going to just kind of tack it down a little bit right here. And I'm just going to kind of form it in here. This one's pretty easy. I have another video I did one. I think I had to do like all of these. And I did that one the same way. I pretty much always do these like this. And it's nothing too hard. You just got to be patient with it. See, I didn't do too good on this one. Let me try to get that a little bit better. Okay, and it doesn't have to be See, I got heavy-handed myself there and just lifted it right up off of there. This is what happens when you work late. that there. And I'm going to tack it down over here too, if I can. Let me get a little closer. My focus was off a little bit there, so I couldn't really see what I was doing well. Okay, now that looks pretty bad, so we're going to have to fix this. Okay, just like that. Now, it looks like it would work, but I don't like that it's popping up. So I want to kind of relieve the tension that is under. So like I don't want to push down while I'm soldering, because then it will have that tension and it might come loose one day. So I want to kind of let it freely go where it wants to go, but I don't want it to bend up too much. So like now it's perfect. Now it's not bending up anymore. Let me see. All right. So there is that. That's better. And we're just going to cut it off now. Okay. Clean that up. And I don't usually put conformal coating on first, but like I said, I have this really fat capacitor, and it would be very difficult to get under here with it. So I actually am going to put some conformal coating. I'm going to come back and do it again later too. But I want to just make sure I get some on there right now. I don't want it to go down the hole I'm getting ready to solder in though. My brush has gotten all squirrely on me there. It's not too good for applying this stuff, because this stuff will make a mess if you're not careful. Alright, that'll do there. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to put this guy in. And I like to leave some space for this one. So it's like I said, they're kind of big and they take up a lot of surface area. I like to keep them up off the ground so they're not, on top of all those traces there. I'm just going to try to get just a little bit of flux here. And I think this one will just solder fine. I don't think we have to do anything special with it. I know this trace is broken here, but I think it'll be all right. Actually, that's not very good there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little piece of wire. Let me take that off of there. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Okay, this side's already kind of clean. And I can use this same little wire that I was using earlier. I just want to kind of make some loops and go around there. So it kind of just makes a better connection there and kind of helps fill in that hole. This wire is a little bit small, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm just going to take this here like this, wrap it around this leg some. Kind of wanted to go the other way with it, but that's not. Just want to kind of fill in that hole there. See, if I would have went the other way, I wouldn't have had to cross over it, but that's all right. It's not worth going back and trying to rewrap it, so we will live with it. I really don't like when it's all big and ugly like this, but there's really not much you can do in this situation unless you were to, redo the hole. And there's just really no need for me to do that right now. All right, so there is that one. That one is done. Let's go ahead and put the 10 in there. Now this one I'm going to leave a lot of space because we got to fix those traces, but I don't feel like fixing them until after I put this capacitor in because I'll use the legs to kind of help with it. Uh-oh, just burnt my HDMI wire. So I want to make sure that this one is not broken. I think it's just some solder mask there. Yeah, it was just some solder mask. So that one's actually good. Let me go ahead and clip these. All right, now we just gotta fix those two traces, and we also want to make sure that this one is soldering up here. You can kind of see how it's kind of, um, corroded away here. So I know this is gonna look ugly, but I like to just make sure that I am getting into this big plane here. All right, now for this one, I might get a little bit bigger wire. Oh, sorry guys. For this one, I'm gonna get a little bit bigger wire to go from here to here, and also to fix this little spot here. Actually, you know what? I have some of these little legs here from the capacitors I just clipped. I think I might just use those. You see how this piece, this trace right here, it's got this kind of frayed end. You want to get rid of stuff like that. You don't want to fight with it and try to solder over it. Just cut it off, get rid of it. It'll make your work a lot easier. All right, let me make sure I didn't cut this one too short now. I'm gonna have to put my self-focus in my autofocus camera back. This one, it keeps going out of focus for some reason. Okay, so we're going to put that guy there just like that. Now I want to solder it, and it's going to move on me. Let's see how bad it moves. Not too bad. Uh-uh. I had it pretty good, and then I had to go and keep messing with it. I done messed it all up now. This is where a wire would have been better, because I could have just wrapped the wire around this. But, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna get it. So these two are not supposed to be connected, this one and this one. It's just, I got so much solder here on this big ground plane. But I don't mind that, because like I said, I like to do that for this one. Oh, my damn stereoscope keeps drifting. Starting to annoy me now. See, now I've gotten too much solder here. And this one's not doing right. See, I tried to be lazy and not get a wire and use this stupid little leg, and it's rigid, so it didn't want to work as well. There we go. Sometimes when you're lazy, it just comes back to bite you in the butt and cause yourself more work. What's going on here? See, this diode here still has conformal coating on it. That's making it messy here. There we go. That is better. All right, so this is good. All right, and that one is good. Now I want to do the same thing from here to there, and I'm gonna use another one of those little legs, just like I just complained about. I'm gonna do it again. I think this piece is too long. This one we just need a little short piece. Yep, just like that. Let's see, that one worked a lot better. If I would just leave it alone, stop messing with it. Okay. Now let me try to clean up all this flux. I got a ton of flux here. And this is the messy kind. tighten up this resistor a little bit here too. And this, you know what, this resistor might be compromised here. If you look, right here, you see what the lead is supposed to look like, and you see what's left of the lead here. I don't think that's going to work. See, look at that. See that? I mean, it's still there, but barely. Look at that. Mm. So I just did all this work here for nothing because I got to take this resistor out anyway. Can't get this little piece out. Let's just push it through. Pull it out from the other side. Alright, so let me get some more of this flux cleaned up. This was my really sticky Kester flux. This the liquid one. It works good, but I'll tell you, it makes a mess. It is no clean, but still. Let's see, where was that resistor? There it is. So that was 1000 ohm resistor that we need to replace. Scratch away this conformal coating here. Let's see if I can't clean out these holes here. This one might not clean out because this is the one that I've got all that other stuff on top of it, which is fine. I don't need it to be clean. I can just push through on one side there. Okay, but I need to find the right size resistor. Let me see if I have one. All right, so I actually am out of the size wattage resistor I need for this, but I was able to find one from just a parts board, and we're just going to use that one instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and feed this side down in there first. Okay, maybe I should take that a little bit deeper. Okay, and then we want to bend this down. I wish I had my better tweezers. Okay, so I'm just trying to bend that down just to get it down in there. Okay, and we can solder it from the other side there. Okay, so for this side, that is good. Go ahead and snip those off. All right, we are almost done. So now this one, everything looks pretty good. Only thing I don't like is this spot right here. I'm gonna add just a little bit more solder there. There we go. Kind of make it all look like one piece. And I like the, there we go. That's a lot better. So now that we got all of that there, we'll go ahead and put our conformal coating down again. Okay. And now we just have this guy right here. And this is another 47. And remember this one, I don't think there's any connections on the other side for this. So I want to make sure I have plenty of solder around here. So I'm going to leave a lot of space again for this big guy. And I'm going to have a lot of solder just like that so that I can just put the leg down right through it. Just like that. Actually, I might need more solder because it didn't take. Okay. All right, so this is the one that's got this little tiny lead that we gotta solder. I mean, this little tiny trace that we gotta solder to, and that, the big lead of the capacitor is not gonna do good at that. So we're gonna have to do something else. That really doesn't look good at all, but that's how it will be. Okay. So this one I'm gonna do just like we done before. we're going to take our little wire, we're going to follow along the trace, and then I'm going to, make some wraps around the capacitor leg here. I might cut it kind of long, and I might wrap it several times. Doesn't really offer any support, but it will make sure it has a decent connection. And then, like I said, tomorrow after I'll test it, I'll make sure I'll add some support. Because we definitely don't want anything coming loose or, shaking loose. It is inside of a truck, so you gotta be able to handle a little bit of bumping and whatnot. I don't like how this one's got so much solder there. Okay. Let me check this side again, make sure it's okay. Somehow, I got really crooked with that capacitor, but I don't think that matters too much. Just looks funny. Alright, so there we go. It's not the best. It is not the best, but I think it will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm done for tonight. I'm going to put some conformal coating here. I always like to finish my work with conformal coating for stuff like this, especially whenever I do trace repair, because the conformal coating will help. Just help make sure it doesn't vibrate loose, or it won't get too close and short circuit. It just make sure it kind of helps hold it in place. I'm going to do the back side too, actually. And then tomorrow it will be all dry, and I can test it, and if everything is okay, I'll add a little bit of sealant to hold down the capacitors. Just like some of my silicone adhesive, I'll just kind of like you see in power supplies and whatnot. I'll probably just dip some there and just kind of run it up on there. Truthfully, they're actually pretty good with this conformal coating. I might just leave it like that. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I might video testing tomorrow, might not, don't know. But anyway, there's your tear tag, a fun one. I don't know if it was very fun, but it's telling me it was a fun one. So maybe it was. Anyway, until next time.